Is there anything that you are scared about?
No, I'm not really scared of anything. I've always been an open book. You're gonna get to see the side of me that my friends, my family, that they get to see. It still is me, right? But, you know, I'm not this like crazy wild, like always at 10. Like I'm actually a really big chiller.
Hey guys, good morning. Every single series of this entire living room. How's it going, guys? Good. So glad to hear that.
JoJo Siwa spent her 21st birthday embarrassing herself yesterday at Disney World's Epcot.
JoJo! We all have really loyal fan bases, but I feel like a lot of people outside of our fan bases find us annoying.
Yeah, oh yeah. I didn't write my song Karma, and I stole it. I'm not a good singer type of thing. It just makes me feel like, why am I doing this, essentially? I never said I'm the CEO of gay pop that I wanted to start a new genre of music. It's called gay pop.
Welcome to me, brother!
Thank you!
If I stay longer than 4 days, you won't be gay anymore.
I can guarantee I will still be gay and I will still be in a very happy relationship. I feel very confused. I feel very happy. And I never thought I would say that to a straight man. Everyone kind of goes through their own journey internally, but I'm going through my own journey super publicly. I've always told myself I'm a lesbian, but I think being here, I've realized, oh no, I'm not lesbian, I'm queer. What? I'm switching letters!
Watching certain things unfold and not being able to get any clarity from the person who was what I thought one of the great loves of my life.
People are not gonna like it. People are gonna be mad at me, for sure.
Are you currently dating anyone?
JoJo!
JoJo, have you learned nothing? Oh my gosh. This is the bow that I wore on my first day of Dance Mom.
I want you to imagine a world of glitter, bows, and boundless trolling energy. Now picture it crashing headfirst into reality TV chaos for all the world to see.
No one has made this dramatic of a change yet. No one has made, in my generation, this extreme of a switch. Some of the most respected people in the world have come up to me and been like, what you're doing right now is so right. It is so right. It is what the world needs. Like, I'm learning from what you're doing right now.
We're talking about JoJo Siwa, a name synonymous with childhood stardom, who's taken the world's most extreme U-turn imaginable, at least in her eyes.
The genre is, I said it back in the day when I first signed with Columbia, I said I wanted to start a new genre of music. And they said, what do you mean? And I said, well, it's called gay pop.
If you've seen part 1 of my series on JoJo Siwa, you know that after being thrust into childhood stardom while appearing on Dance Moms, JoJo Siwa turned her fame into a very successful YouTube channel, music career, and now a repivot into becoming a new kind of reality TV star. A grown-up one, complete with controversies, the alleged exploitation of minors, and scandals that would desecrate nearly any other celebrity, but not JoJo.
You are still a traitor!
She's already appeared on The Masked Singer, Dancing with the Stars, Special Forces, World's Toughest Test, and RuPaul's Drag Race. So she's basically speedrunning through a whole ass career, and she's only 22.
Called gay pop.
So today we're peeling back the many complex layers of the latest controversies surrounding her, starting with her appearance on the latest season of Celebrity Big Brother UK that reached a fever pitch of violent threats by a disgraced man who once allegedly beat an S8, a fellow actress, on camera, followed by JoJo's widely publicized cheating disaster, the spiraling public relations bizarre Tradwife accusation thing, and something far more sinister.
I'm a superstar, baby!
Like it or not, the world is still talking about JoJo Siwa, and as the saying goes, and as JoJo herself will comment on, there's no such thing as bad publicity. She spent her entire life as a child star and has learned that in this business, you either die at the bottom of the pyramid or live long enough to see yourself become Abby Lee Miller. But she's not bulletproof. So I'm gonna challenge all of us to look at another perspective about JoJo. It will be firm, it will be critical in places, it will be uncomfortable at times, but it will also be human. Because we have to ask, where does society actually draw the line of compassion from a traumatized former child star and an adult celebrity who is potentially now traumatizing others? Because maybe she was trained to do that since childhood, to make a profit. And beyond that, what happens when the cameras stop rolling? And what dark secret lurks behind the headlines? And this is what we know. Oh, hi there. Hello, hi. It's my face again. Swoop! If you're seeing me for the first time, welcome. My name is Swoop, and I'm a documentary filmmaker, commentary creator, and I make what we call Swoop docs on complex stories, true crime, and social media influencers who abuse their power and manipulate audiences because, as I always say, it's not drama, it's dangerous. We emphasize critical thinking, break down selective outrage, and also do something rare these days. We present different perspectives, play devil's advocate, and sometimes, depending on my mood, we take it to Petty University and have a giggle. Okay, listen, sometimes we need to do that. A touch about me: I'm a woman, a survivor, a chronic pain fighter, and my hope with how I present these stories is that we break echo chambers, bring some humanity back, and walk away learning something new. I will dig through a lot of what's being discussed online, but our focus here is in the detours, the sidebars, where we dive into areas I don't see often covered and try to present more nuance and humanity in otherwise rage-inducing stories. So if you're into that, go ahead and hit subscribe, honey. We are on the road to 1 million critical thinkers, and I just think that is so wild. Like, I just never in a million years did I think that we would be on this journey and this path, and I just love that we're doing this together. And also, I'm gonna point it out again because y'all thank me for doing this. A lot of you come back week after week and watch these docs, but you aren't subscribed, even though you might think that you are. A lot of you told me that you thought you were and never realized that you actually weren't. So, you know, go ahead and hit subscribe. We have a good time over here. I also have a second channel called Swoop 2 where we take mini dips into basically whatever the hell I want to talk about. Okay, here we deep dive, there we dip. And you can also join our Patreon community where you can get 4 more exclusive, uncensored, unfiltered videos per month, plus the entire back catalog of videos only available on Patreon. Now, I do want to just take like a quick moment and just say thank you, all of you, for being here. I know that I have been away from this channel for a couple of months. Just to give like a little bit of what's been going on, and then we'll get into the story. I had been away for a long time, helping as a caregiver for someone in a hospice situation. And for those of you who know what hospice means, you understand that, and I'm sorry that you even understand that. It's been an incredibly difficult and challenging time, as many of you can probably imagine. I didn't know that I was going to be away this long from filming during all of this, but you know, life happens. And so I just want to thank y'all for being here. Like, it really freaks me out. Like, I've been so stressed about not posting here for a long time because sometimes, you know, like the platform is not too kind when you take lengths of time away. So thank you for being here. I just want to give a big shout out to all the caregivers out there because it is an emotionally, mentally, and physically exhausting role that it's so necessary. And so I just wanted to say that I see you, and I know a lot of you deal with your own health issues and your own chronic illnesses and things, and you're still providing care for someone. It is such a necessary thing to look after one another. And so yeah, I just want to send you some love and some warmth because I'm sure you're quite exhausted, and take care of yourself because you deserve it. Okay, back to all the things. Big thanks to our sponsor, and then we're gonna jump into this JoJo Siwa story. Okay, we're gonna dive in, but first, can I rant for a second? Because I am pissed off, and I think you should be too. Did you know that Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon, Hulu, HBO Max, and other streaming services are hiding thousands of shows and movies from you because of where you live, even though you're paying full price? The disrespect. But don't worry, friends, you know Swoop has the perfect solution. So a huge thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring today's video. They've been a longtime supporter of our community, and I've been using ExpressVPN for like 4 years now. It is literally on all my devices. I do not stream without it. So here's the tea. Basically, when you do anything online, all of your activity is tracked through your IP address, which is attached to the country you're in, and streaming services all have restrictions based on your country. And what's worse, some stores and services even charge different prices for the same product depending on your location. This includes like Spotify subscription prices, buying flight tickets, online games. Like, you can literally be charged more just for living in a different country than someone else. The audacity. But when I turn on ExpressVPN, I can take my IP address and online location and switch it to any country that I choose in seconds, so that I can instantly unlock all the movies and shows they tried to block me from and get the best prices possible. I literally do this all the time with so many movies and shows. Like, I wanted to watch Downton Abbey and it wasn't available in the US, so I opened ExpressVPN, tapped to set my location to the UK, refreshed Netflix, and bam! bam, all episodes right there. I've done this for The Office, Legally Blonde. Like, you literally just open the app and tap or click one button to change locations, and it works on all your devices, your phones, laptops, tablets, smart TVs. You can connect up to 8 devices covering everyone in the house with just one account. ExpressVPN has premium servers in over 105 countries, so you can bounce around the globe. You'll never run out of content again. And the speeds, honey, fast enough to stream in HD with 0 buffering. It's giving buttery smooth, not laggy Larry. And huge bonus, it's secure and safer than using the internet without it. Did you know that your internet service provider can see and log everything you do online? How many of you want everything you do online? Okay, I know what you did. I know what you did on the internet. Even your boss can see every website you're browsing, even with incognito mode, okay? You're not as slick as you might think, but not when you switch on ExpressVPN. They keep your data locked down. It hides your IP address, encrypts your traffic, and protects you from snoops, even if you're on public Wi-Fi. So friends, it's time. Stop paying full price for streaming services and getting only a fraction of the movies and shows. Find out how you can get up to 4 months free by clicking the link in the description box below, or go to expressvpn.com/swoop. That's expressvpn.com/swoop, SWOOP, to unlock more content and keep your internet browsing private and treat yourself to tons more movies and shows, because you deserve it, honey. Okay, back to the doc. Also, super quick heads up, this video will include non-graphic discussions of topics around homophobia, hate speech, and dark Hollywood and JoJo Siwa jump scares.
Karma's a bitch!
You were warned.
JoJo, you were 5th in the competition. You're 5th on the pyramid. Sometimes you act like a 5-year-old. Maybe 5 is your lucky number, or not so lucky number.
No one ever said childhood stardom was easy. If they said that, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. In a cutthroat environment like Dance Moms with abusive Lee Miller, excuse me, Abby Lee Miller, allegedly, screaming at the kids was business as usual, allegedly.
It was good. Well, if you're so good, you don't really need to be a part of the Abby Lee Dance Company. She deserves nothing.
And young JoJo, just 11 years old when she joined the main cast of Dance Moms, has clearly been through some shit. There's no way that I can see it any other way than you can't be a kid on that show and not be going through some shit the way the adults were behaving. For whatever reason, most people gloss over this as part of JoJo's story, but I don't see how you can separate the exploitation of her as a child from her mental development.
Music is my life. All kinds of music.
In my opinion, JoJo is a clear example of a child being groomed for a specific career, and I think it's important to always keep that front of mind when discussing her. Yes, she's become quite obnoxious to a lot of people. Again, label has dropped her now. The branding is not working. But, you know, she apparently loves to be trolled.
I gotta ask you with the K-pop.
Yes.
A lot of people have come for you. Do you retract what you said? Have you
Why did you come for me for that? Literally, what did I do? Here's the thing. I'd be like, I support world peace. And the world would be like, you asshole. I'm not the creator, but I'm not the president, but I might be like the CEO or the like CMO.
Okay.
I could be the CMO, the chief marketing officer.
I like
I'll be
that.
the CMO. My marketing tactics, whether people like it or not.
The toxic environment, like in Dance Moms, wasn't just adults. Like, fellow child castmates encouraged by the adult producers for ratings also contributed to the chaos. All these kids were led to just be awful to each other. So what do we think that's gonna do in their development?
One of the girls was like, do you guys want ice cream? And I was like, yeah, like, let's do it. Like, I got money this time. Like, I want to get it for everybody. And she was like, well, if you want to get the ice cream, you have to come downstairs with me to get it. And I said, oh, I can't go downstairs. Like, can we just call or order? And she said, no, I want to go downstairs. And I said, my mom told me I can't leave the room. I was 11. You should not leave the room by yourself. And she said, no, if you don't come, you don't get ice cream. And I said, oh, okay, it's okay. So she went down by herself and got ice cream. And she came back up with 6 ice creams. And there were 7 of us in the room. And she said, you get one, 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 and walked past me and sat down and ate her ice cream. That's the that shapes me as a kid. That's stuff that sticks with you for life.
As an adult, JoJo is able to analyze her experience on Dance Moms with newfound maturity through, still a fractured lens, in my opinion, and additional perspective. But clearly the expectations and, catty behavior encouraged in the reality TV world itself rubbed off on JoJo, whether she realizes it or not.
I don't think there's any hiding me in the Big Brother house. When people first meet me, they're like, who is this 21-year-old? Oh my God, she's gonna be so annoying. And then they get to know me and they're like, wait, this bitch is funny. Can I swear in the Big Brother house? Good.
And the thing is, every time I see an interview or soundbite with a JoJo, I am constantly left asking, number one, why did I just watch that? But also number two, does she even have a genuine identity? Can she have one? Or is everything we see just an extension of what producers and record labels and her mom molded her to be?
I'm trying to imagine how many bows are on this wall. Wow, that's a lot of bows.
Now, despite all of the drama, they never pulled her from Dance Moms. In fact, they upped the ante when JoJo pivoted to the next great monolith of childhood stardom, Nickelodeon.
I love your bow. I love your bow more. And your breakfast pics, amaze.
Quote, Siwa signed a lucrative deal with Nickelodeon in 2017 to do similar work aimed at Nickelodeon's target audience of preteens, leading Siwa to helm an empire of children's programming that netted her an estimated $20 million over the years. 20 million human dollars. Can you imagine netting $20 million as a teenager?
Hey everyone, it's JoJo and welcome to my new merch room.
But, like Olivia Rodrigo, Miley Cyrus, JoJo saw a path. Music. And so she dropped some major teeny bopper hits, including Boomerang, which was streamed over 1 billion times. All this was happening while her original YouTube channel, still bafflingly called JoJo Siwa Kids in the URL, continued to rack up 12 million subscribers by catering to a very much younger audience. Was it all the momager, Jesselyn, pulling the strings, controlling the finances? Because in my opinion, JoJo just bounced from one potentially exploitative, it's not potentially, but it's like I gotta say that, but also it was just very exploitative environment into another one, which is also exploitative. I don't actually think there's argument around that, but I'm sure someone will probably try in the comments and then, bye. Bitch, bye.
I didn't even have a damn choice with the bow. You just stuck it in my head. Truthfully, I think the bow for me was like a safety net. I just felt like myself. She's so happy. Just so happy.
JoJo seems like she was okay with this, or she was taught to say that she's okay with this.
I love her. I want to go back in time to that.
Are you sure about that, JoJo? Is that what you actually want to go back to?
The thing is, before I came to Dance Moms, I won everywhere. And then I think when I went to Dance Moms, I was just like, this isn't important, but the show is. Yeah? I always knew that the dancing wasn't where it was at, and I think I just screw it, dogged it. Didn't even try.
Call it the natural progression of a person wanting to be famous. Call it a massive ego that was groomed by, the industry, and now it's just ballooned and it's out of control. Or call it trauma, but JoJo has somehow managed to not get chewed up and spit out by the reality TV machine. She got lucky, so to speak.
Her whole goal was to put JoJo down and make her cry. I don't know if that makes Abby feel better about herself, but it pisses me off. Just play yourself together and go back in.
It's kind of wild to expect an 11-year-old girl to have her teenage years monetized by every adult in the room publicly, not be up by it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it.
The fans have dubbed me the CEO of gay pop, so that's me, baby.
But despite the squeaky clean image that JoJo maintained, she's had her fair share of controversies as well.
Dream guest on my podcast?
Dream guest on my podcast? Dream guest on my podcast?
Listen, I'm not gonna do a full recap. We already covered JoJo's rise to whatever the hell version of fame she currently has and the whole rebranding and all of that in part 1. So let's just speed run some of the highlights so we can get to the meat of this story.
I was a bad girl. I did some bad things. I swear I did it all for fun and it meant nothing.
And karma would come for JoJo eventually. Her karma rebrand, trading bows for kiss makeup, sparked an egocentric, meme-generating spree that made her a troll magnet.
Oh yeah, we speed rap. We don't give you like a little, nah, we speed rap.
From the drunken sing-along incident at Epcot on her 21st birthday, but honestly, the people who are dragging for this, I guarantee you, I know what y'all did at 21, okay? I'm just saying you, half of y'all were out here drunk in these streets. Don't act like you weren't. I wasn't, because I was straight edge, but don't act like you weren't. I'm just saying.
I should've known better. I had a wish I would've never acted around. Yeah, we know it.
And even citing Jake and Logan Paul as inspiration, which, JoJo.
Name one thing that's made you a bad girl.
Okay.
Let's all remind ourselves of a couple of key lyrics from Karma that she didn't write, that she may or may not have led people to think that maybe she did, but she didn't. Okay, quote, I was a bad girl. I did some bad things. I swear I did it all for fun and it meant nothing.
This is bad, I shouldn't talk about this.
JoJo.
Thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not cheat, thou shalt not get caught or you'll end up just like me. Bookmark this thought for later.
I'm eating JoJo Siwa ice cream.
Yeah.
Out of a JoJo Siwa spoon. It's pretty cool that I'm eating JoJo Siwa ice cream with a JoJo Siwa spoon.
Right.
And I'm JoJo Siwa.
Yeah.
That video is public footage of my first time being high.
Stop.
Beneath the JoJo memes and messy moments are more serious matters. Talking about the asbestos recalled makeup, the accusations that JoJo created an abusive work environment as an adult for members of her failed pop group XOMG Pop. The dancers interviewed, who were like minors, claimed that they were, quote, treated like trash. And according to one of the sources close to the production, an adage among some of the producers on set that JoJo was, it was her show as an adult. It's not a good day unless you make a kid cry, because I guess kids' tears really bring up the ratings. We've covered the allegations against JoJo from XOMG Pop members at length in part 1. So if you want to check that out, I'm not doing a whole recap here, but I just don't think it's fair to not mention that for the victims of that story. I don't think it's fair to them to just ignore that part of all of this. But there has been, just a quick thing, a more recent update from Angie Sanderson, the mother of former XOMG Pop member Leah Sanderson, an incredibly talented, brave, strong, just young person who has fought so much adversity, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. She actually shared our part 1 on her social media accounts when it came out, which was very kind of her to do. And I hope that she is in a safe place. That's what I hope for her. But again, maybe in JoJo's mind, this is all no big deal. After all, you know, she survived Abby Lee Miller, so these young people can survive her, right? But then that perpetuates a toxic cycle of abuse that I hope JoJo starts to see and care more about if she doesn't already.
The JoJo Siwa brand is $1 billion brand, which is insane.
That is insane.
It's crazy.
Literally insane.
On April 7th, 2025, JoJo Siwa entered the celebrity Big Brother house. And I know, why should we care about JoJo Siwa's latest reality TV stint? I hear you.
A property time.
At first, this may just sound like drama, but it's actually much deeper with some very sinister undertones, as well as raising questions about authenticity around JoJo's empire. And I'm gonna say JoJo's empire more specifically because, again, I think that there are a lot of other people behind JoJo Siwa's current actions than just her. But first, what the hell is Big Brother?
So I've been lying to you the entire game. Since I walked into this house. I'm not who I said I was.
Big Brother's a competitive reality TV show since 1999 where it isolates housemates from the outside world, leading to bickering, challenges, and relationship drama. Y'all remember when Trisha Paytas was on the show and left in 2017 after just 11 days?
Regret leaving Big Brother. shit. I have been watching so many well, actually, I've really watched like probably like a dozen of them, and fake ass people in the house, and I do not regret leaving now. Changed my mind.
Contestants are monitored 24/7 by hidden cameras and microphones, kind of like the resilient Jenkins and damn near every family vlog channel out there filming their kids. Unlike those, Big Brother contestants are consenting adults, thank God, with every fight, burp, sneeze, and every mental breakdown broadcast live to like a million. So you think, a captive audience all of the time? This sounds like the perfect environment for a reality TV guru like JoJo Siwa, and she was eager to join for the 24th season of Celebrity Big Brother UK, which I will abbreviate as CBB because I ain't saying that long ass name all the time. Contestants are typically voted out weekly until one remains, winning up to $250,000. CBB UK, however, pays celebrities for appearances, offering no cash prize. Allegedly. In this economy. The big premise of the show, besides, the round-the-clock surveillance, is that the contestants are not allowed to get any news about the outside world. We're talking total isolation, allegedly. I mean, listen, it's reality TV, which is generally completely full of all of the time. Everyone lies about how those shows are made. They're literally scripted half the time. So who the F knows? But there is something contestants can actually get. Letters or video messages from loved ones. How quaint. And JoJo was definitely getting these.
Hi JoJo, we're all having so much fun watching you in the Big Brother house. The most important thing to tell you is a message from Kath, because I know you really miss them the most.
More on that later.
We're also just like, with Kath, like I just trust him beyond trust. And it's such a that's my partner.
That's your partner.
I don't worry about that.
Now, before we talk about what happened inside the CBB house, we need to talk about what happened outside. In particular, who JoJo Siwa was dating prior. And no, I did not think in my life we would still be talking about JoJo Siwa's love life, but here we are, people. It's a brave new world or whatever. I don't know.
I almost didn't know this version of myself existed. I didn't know that it was possible to, have so much love for somebody, but still have so much love for your career and so much love for your family and your friends, but yet you still have this safe person. It's beautiful. They have made me a more beautiful person. It's because they're the most beautiful.
Going into the show, JoJo was dating Kath Ebbs.
Hi, my name is Kathleen Ebbs. My pronouns are they, she, and I am partnering with Booper today to share my top 5 tips for self-care.
Kath is a non-binary Australian actor, best known for playing the first non-binary character, Asher Nesmith, so applause for that. This was on an Australian soap called Neighbours. They're also a DJ, podcaster, and fitness influencer. Kath, for many years, has been very vocal about mental health, the importance of self-care, and how to curate the support that you need.
Deciphering the people you choose to surround your life. This is something I really learned when I was like 18 years old, how important it is to have friends and an inner circle that really and truly accept you for who you are and respect your boundaries.
I applaud anyone talking about mental health. I also very much applaud people in vulnerable communities, like someone who is non-binary. We need people and representation in these spaces talking about things like mental health. But unfortunately, life is not without pain, and this message will prove to be a bit of foreshadowing later for Kath.
I think it's really important to intentionally choose the people you want to surround yourself with and make sure that they value the same things as you.
Now, the couple, JoJo and Kath, met the way celebrities are legally required to meet their partner through another celebrity, Australian musician G Flip in 2024 to be exact. Any Selling Sunset fans out there? Anybody watch that show? Anybody? Kay, do you watch that? No? Did anybody? Susan's crawling in the background. If you're with us for Swoop 2, you know Susan. She's over there just creeping around. I see you, Susan.
I'm sure you would, because you don't have a lot of points and you're on drugs.
Now, even back then, there were early rumors about a relationship when Kath began appearing in JoJo's TikToks, the legally required way for a celebrity couple to start leaking their relationship so they can capitalize on fans, playing the inevitable guessing game until they hard launch and hope to go viral. So we love to see the formula play out. Kath described the beginnings of their relationship in an interview with Pedestrian, saying, quote, "I've never had such an emotional connection. Obviously, obviously she's objectively beautiful, but it was just like such an intense emotional connection. We would be on FaceTime like all night, which is the most lesbian thing ever. We've literally been inseparable ever since, like U-Haul. I have literally never heard anyone describe their relationship like a U-Haul, but you know what? Puppy love is a hell of a drug. Things got Instagram official in January 2025 when Kath posted a photo of the two of them kissing. See what I tell you? Celebrities are legally required by law to launch their relationships on Instagram and TikTok. If you don't do it, I don't believe you. Quote, to one of the kindest, most courageous, resilient, and hilarious people I have ever met. What a blessing to share a little piece of life with you. Thank you for always reminding me to laugh, always kiss. Oh, they've got it bad for JoJo. Did they not realize after Karma that JoJo comes with a warning label because she's such a bad girl? Those are lyrics, okay? Don't make it weird.
So you are in love.
Super.
Super.
I called my mom as soon as I left them, and I said, Mom, I'm really in love with them.
Oh, okay, pause. Some crucial information here. JoJo Siwa at this time was 21 years old and Kath Ebbs 27. Here's the thing. We're basically witnessing a 21-year-old discover adult dating relationships and doing so on a massive public scale. The age gap isn't illegal, of course, and I'm not dragging it. It's not inherently wrong in any way as long as, the age gap isn't being weaponized into a power imbalance. I'm still gonna have questions about some of these gaps, but this is a factor for someone JoJo's age who hasn't matured emotionally yet after being exploited as a child or whatever the hell this was.
Your kid would rather be with any other mother other than you!
So now that we've got an introduction to a Kajo, let's dig back to CBB, Big Brother, where JoJo's sexuality became a topic of conversation regarding a revelation she shared with housemate Danny Beard.
JoJo Siwa experiencing an awakening in front of the cameras inside the celebrity Big Brother house.
I'm not lesbian, I'm queer.
You are?
And I think that's really cool.
You are?
I'm switching letters!
You're a queer bitch.
What are the cute?
You are cute.
You don't need to give anyone all the answers. Ever. Even when you know them for you. You don't owe anyone
I think
anything.
I'm afraid of giving an answer because I'm not sure. You know what I mean?
Stigmas are so damn useless, and I'm just at this point of aren't we tired? Aren't we tired? I know some people get twisted up with anger regarding someone else's identity when it truly has nothing to do with them, and I know that's often because they simply don't take the time to listen to other perspectives, so they won't take in perspectives and understand that humans are not black and white creatures. Well, except for me, clearly. That's one of the joys of wearing my skin suit. I get to say shit like that. But putting my ADHD brain aside, you should always have the right to explore and redefine who you are, who you know yourself to be. If we just let people live as themselves in this one life that we each all have, that we are lucky to have on this beautiful mess of a planet, maybe there wouldn't be nearly the depression epidemic that we're seeing literally everywhere in every age bracket, especially in teens.
Today we want to talk about the mental health of LGBTQ+ youth. A nationwide survey of youth in the community shows a staggering, heartbreaking 42% had seriously considered attempting suicide in 2020.
Humans, and I'm not even gonna call it humble because I'm right. I'm always right, even when I'm wrong, I'm right. And humans are inherently curious animals. We are mammals, right? We are nosy as So perhaps instead of policing someone else trying to discover who they are and their identity in ways that aren't dangerous, then maybe we can just, I don't know, fucking coexist and move on.
It is a crisis that touches every town, city, and state. The Trevor Project estimates 1.8 million LGBTQ+ youth nationally seriously consider suicide each year.
JoJo's exploration of her identity isn't really new. People just didn't research more context because as far back as 2021, JoJo told People magazine, quote, "I like queer. Technically, I would say that I'm pansexual because that's how I have always been my whole life, is just like my human is my human. Yeah, again, we'll get to the rest of the stuff that she said, but like, it's okay to like look at a little more context. By the way, JoJo would have been around 18 years old at the time of that interview. And I get that people are curious. Like I said, they were the curious animals, but also like, what if, here's a thought. What if teenagers maybe didn't have to feel pressured to discuss their identity? I'm just saying maybe if we left teens alone, teens would be, let me check my notes here. Yeah, they would be left alone. Like maybe, no? Oh, what the hell, I tried. Okay, anyways. I don't know how a young teen is supposed to navigate that and do it in a way that is going to make everybody happy. You know, I understand people want celebrities to say like the perfect thing and the right thing, but then I also understand that there are oftentimes people who are listening to a public figure say something. The people who are listening are already listening in bad faith. And if someone's already listening in bad faith, then they're not a reliable narrator to narrate and interpret what that person said. I'm not like singling anything out. I'm just saying in general. We gotta let go of this idea that just because the public says something, leaves a comment or whatever, that they are coming at the story in good faith, because a lot of times people just aren't. They are looking to be assholes. Literally, I can guarantee you right now, there's someone who is like behind a keyboard in the comments of this video right now, trying to find a reason to be angry. And they're gonna be angry because there are people out there who will approach any video that I make, any video any creator makes, instantly in bad faith. They've already decided they don't like a creator, and so they go to the comments section for some reason, just fucking watch something else. Like, it's really that easy. But like, they've decided like, I don't like this person for whatever reason, and so they are approaching it in bad faith. Why would I think that someone in bad faith is seeing something through a lens that is worth commenting on in these stories? So that is also something to take into consideration.
So do you like girls or boys?
Me? Girls.
I know, I can tell.
My partner is non-binary.
If I stay longer than 4 days, you won't be gay anymore.
I can guarantee I will still be gay and I will still be in a very happy relationship.
I'll tie you up.
Yeah, about that. This grown-ass man really said he wants to tie her up. JoJo was being threatened by a man 50 years older than her with SA. This is where things take a very dark turn.
Folks, you've seen our next guest in such wonderful motion pictures as Diner, Barfly, and 9.5 Weeks, but he has never, this is hard to believe, this man has never before appeared on a talk show. I just hope he doesn't hit me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mickey Rourke. Mickey!
Allow me the displeasure of introducing you to the twisted and conflicted person that is 72-year-old Mickey Rourke.
I've learned, well, it's interesting. I went to therapy for 23 years, and I didn't ever think I would. But the therapist said to me one day, he said after about 3 or 4 years, he said, you have absolutely no regard for repercussions or accountability.
Now, full transparency, Mickey Rourke is a man I tried to find compassion for, and an error message popped up. He was a former pro boxer turned actor, and this dreadful man was once considered a sex symbol. I use that term so loosely after a run of thrillers in the 1980s.
What about the acting disenchanted you?
Wasn't prepared for the business part of it and the politics, you know. I came out of like the actor's studio and I really thought it was about like acting. I wasn't.
Here's a clip from a movie he starred in 2020, and I know what you're thinking, Swoop, that's just a clip from a movie. You're not saying that this actor actually hurts women in real life, are you? That's exactly what I'm saying. And not just one, many women, spanning decades, and not just off camera, on camera, in front of everyone. Yeah, that clip is from 2020 thriller Girl, co-starring Bella Thorne. Here's what she had to say. Quote, I had to work with this man in a scene where I'm on my knees with my hands tied behind my back. He was supposed to hit me with a metal sander on the kneecap, but instead he put it on my genitals and hit it over and over again. That, my friends, dear critical thinkers, is a full stop. And horrifically, it was happening in front of an entire cast and crew who stood by and watched it happen.
I became, as my therapist told me, a scary person to deal with, and I didn't know how to turn the off switch off.
And have you learned, Mickey, have you learned how to turn that off now?
Mickey Rourke has spoken about being abused as a child until age 14, a horrible experience that clearly shaped his mental health. I'm not gonna ignore that.
Well, you're abused physically, and it happened when I was about 14. And when you're living in shame, there's nothing worse than that. So you got two choices. You either live in shame and you become like a broken soul, a broken person, or you get hard. And I chose to get hard.
And his experience, the child him, should be respected. In the same breath, that doesn't excuse the harm he inflicted as an adult for many years.
All right, so you decided that the acting really wasn't what you had hoped it would be, so you went into fighting.
When, I went to the shrink for a little while, that didn't work.
This man had literally been in therapy for decades before he harmed Bella Thorne. Quote from Bella, "I had bruises on my bone. Working with Mickey was one of the worst experiences of my life as an actress." But I guess we shouldn't be surprised that Mickey attacked in front of producers, because this troglodyte of a man has bragged about how proud he is that no one can control him.
He says, that's just not in your DNA. And I realized with dealing with people who deal from an authoritarian place, producers, who think that they can treat you a certain way because they're the ones with the money and the power. They finally ran into a cat that didn't give a about their money and power.
I've got to watch your language, Mickey, I'm sorry.
And this is the man that Celebrity Big Brother decided to lock inside a house with a bunch of women.
He's a good friend, that's about it. And tell that that said all that shit in the paper, I'd like to break his
Now, what exactly were the producers thinking? Oh, right, I forgot, drama equals money.
My psychiatrist said to me, you were all the way up the mountain and then you dove off head first.
When you're an actor, do people have the wrong impression of you? Have you kind of somehow generated for yourself, inadvertently perhaps, a reputation as maybe a guy who is, difficult or odd or peculiar?
I don't know. What I did was I opened my mouth and I said what was on my mind. And like I said, I wasn't prepared to deal with the acting like a business.
Right.
So I carried myself as if I was a shoemaker, a construction worker,
Did I mention that Mickey Rourke has harmed several women over the course of literal decades? As far back as the 1980s, Mickey's abhorrent, sometimes criminal behavior was considered part of his charm. He's so charming. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. He's so good looking. He's so charming. During the filming of the considered iconic erotic thriller 9.5 Weeks, co-star Kim Basinger was literally tormented by both Rourke and the director's harmful actions. In a 1986 article in the New York Times, because yes, I dug that deep because I'm a thorough bitch, Kim Basinger described the set as traumatic and stated director Adrian Lin, quote, played upon an edge of terror to get the desired performance. Quote, to make the scene realistic, Mr. Lin engaged in one of his private asides to Mr. Rourke. So the director said, I told him that the scene wasn't working, that Kim had to be broken down. Mr. Rourke grabbed Miss Basinger's arm and held it tightly, refusing to let go. Miss Basinger began to cry and then shouted and struck Mr. Rourke. He then slapped her in the face. She began to weep hysterically. Mr. Lin then said, now let's start the scene. I don't actually know what the has been going on in the entertainment industry since like the dawn of time, but from my experience surviving violence in this industry, I have also been in this industry and I've survived violence multiple times. These stories are far more common than anyone would realize. Most of us don't talk about it. I'm one of those people who has not shared all of my experiences. Now, in case you were still on the fence about Mickey Rourke being a total a-hole, in 1994, Mickey was arrested for DV against his now ex-wife, supermodel Carrie Otis. They met on the set of Wild Orchid in 1989, in which Mickey was 37 and Carrie Otis was 19. Yeah, here's Carrie recounting their honeymoon.
I didn't want to go again, and it was after our amazing road trip of a honeymoon. And it sort of all came crashing to a stop in Miami where old patterns resurfaced and he wanted to go out and I didn't want him to go out, and there was a gun and that was placed to my head. And it wasn't with the intent, although it might sound insane, to obviously, but it was definitely just a moment of definition of what the relationship was. And I was in over my head. I was a kid in over my head.
Though the DV charges were dropped, a bang bang re-entered their story when Mickey Rourke hid in Carrie Otis's purse, leading her to being accidentally shot inches from her heart. She chronicled the incident in her 2011 memoir, Beauty Disrupted. Quote, "Wait, help me," I finally cried out, forcing the words to come. "You gotta help me, I'm bleeding really bad," I wailed. "It hurts so much to move. This is a nightmare, clean this up." Mickey was agitated. I could tell he had grave concerns that the press would get wind of the incident. I panicked, wondering which was more important, my life or covering up the fact that I'd been shot with Mickey Rourke's. Like, what in the deep fried? This is what pisses me off so much about A Big Brother, featuring a literal monster and his redemption arc that they're giving him, and it's just disgusting that the industry hasn't permanently banned him.
As the years passed and I messed everything up that I tried to accomplish, by me getting hard with everything and everybody, I became, as my therapist told me, a scary person to deal with.
So now that we have an introduction into Mickey Rourke's dangerous past spanning more years than JoJo Siwa has been alive, I find it very odd that not only did Big Brother cast him, but they put Mickey's bed right beside JoJo's.
If I stay longer than 4 days, you won't be gay anymore.
I can guarantee I will still be gay and I will still be in a very happy relationship.
I'll tie you up.
I can promise you that won't happen. I dare you to try, you'll be the one tied up.
I have to underscore again, the man who brutally harmed multiple women on camera in front of cast, crew, producers, and directors for decades is openly threatening to harm a young woman 50 years younger than him on live television. Yeah, I don't think this man is changed. He's broke now and doing it in stained sweatsuits.
We all vote each other out?
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually. I'm gonna vote the lesbian out real quick.
JoJo. That's homophobic.
This is undiscussable. The lesbian I'm gonna vote out.
No, you can't do that, Mickey. You also can't say that.
He's a good lad.
Appreciate ya.
She's what I call some woman. I need a Mickey, you can't say that.
So this was a moment where I really felt awful for JoJo. I know that we had criticisms for the rebranding. Being harassed on national television over your identity is sadly something that has been happening to JoJo quite literally, I think, almost her entire life. Why the hell should anyone in the industry have to sit there and take it for the sake of making a television show more money?
You can't say that, Mickey. I know, but I was talking about a cigarette. I know, yeah.
It's interesting to hear Mickey say this, given what a changed person he is, since, again, just 2 years ago, he said this.
I mean, what do you think when you see people being cancelled for having an opinion?
I don't think anybody should have to apologize for what their personal opinion is on any matter, unless their personal opinion is very narrow-minded and is going to hurt other people.
Way to go, Mickey! After his comments, Mickey was immediately sent to the diary room and disciplined.
Mickey, Big Brother thinks your language was offensive and unacceptable. All right. Boy, did I get chewed out.
Did you?
Yeah.
You got in trouble?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Okay.
Thank you, sorry.
You got your slippers.
I apologize. I just got a short, bad habit of having a short fuse.
Listen, if anyone tells you they have a bad habit of having a short temper, please run. Run! Just please run.
Maybe you should replace your suggestions with some silence, Jennifer.
JoJo showed undeserved grace to him, probably unaware of his past.
But first of all, what is your knowledge and history of Mickey Rourke?
Absolutely nothing.
Really?
I had no clue who he was.
But the producers were aware and are culpable. So for that. Even if JoJo is choosing to handle this with, laughs and shrugs, also, what is she gonna do? She's on live television. She shouldn't have to respond that way.
It's crazy to me that still exists.
You can't justify it because it's not right. You can't try and justify things which aren't right. There's no point of sitting here and going, oh, it's a...
What I felt when you were over there was like you had my back. And to be honest, we've known each other less than 24 hours. You have no reason to have my back.
Because it's right and wrong, though, isn't it?
But it's between right and wrong, and that meant a lot.
Come on. Wait. I'm getting upset, aren't
Welcome in. It's not good. It's a clean t-shirt.
Clearly, JoJo is trying so hard to keep it together. I'm glad that, housemate Chris Hughes, who you see hugging JoJo in that clip, stepped up and came to her defense. Obviously, we'll be revisiting Kris soon. Mickey was given a formal warning from the show, but eventually kicked out, shocking, after making aggressive verbal comments to Kris.
This is Big Brother. Mickey, come to the diary room immediately.
Mickey, I think it was a joke. It was a joke. Say it was a joke. It was a joke. Ah!
Your ass will be right there in a second. Mickey, come to the diary room immediately.
Literally, this man is a menace. Please stop hiring him.
Wish I would have had better self-control. And I'm very sorry. I'm ashamed of myself for losing it for a few seconds there.
It's like screw this guy, seriously. This guy 20,000 chances. He could find something else to do with his life.
I blame myself. I know it was my bad. I got a short fuse, and I know I upset a lot of people out there, but.
Yeah, no, don't care. Get him away from literally everyone. So I think CBB bears responsibility in casting this man. But, now they can position themselves as the savior, of JoJo and the queer community over a situation that they had a hand in orchestrating. And remember, it's not just the whole world watching, it's JoJo's partner, Kath, as well.
The 5-minute clip, which was the whole conversation, has so many layers to it. It is crazy. Firstly, he asks her if she's into boys or girls. She answers that she is gay. He then proceeds to tell her that he's going to turn her straight if he's in the house long enough. She shuts it down. Once she shuts it down, he says he's going to tie her up. She shuts him down over and over again. He then goes, actually, I'm going to get rid of you, which is rooted in misogyny. If men deem you unfuckable, they have no use for you.
I fully agree with Kath. So here's the thing. I'm always going to ask the humanity questions, even if I can't stand someone. So, sidebar. Oh, this is a painful sidebar. Can bridges be built with those who spout hateful aggression, bigotry, racism, all that stuff? Should we even try? So how about a little point and counterpoint? Point, if we can't guide people to learn from their behavior and change, won't the bigotry become even worse over time? Counterpoint, it's not up to the queer community to educate someone and address their homophobia, just as it's not up to Black or brown people, people of color, to educate racists, or for people with disabilities to educate those who are not disabled. Still, it presents a challenge. Without someone to set the example and reach out with empathy, even to a bigot, can things ever really change? That's why I present these perspectives. In my opinion, education is a powerful, if not the most powerful tool against hate and misinformation, but it shouldn't come at the cost of safety.
You know what I realized about you? You've been through some shit.
I try for that not to feel.
You do a great job until you're surrounded by 13 strangers in a house and your emotions take over in a way that you never could predict.
JoJo exemplifies being open to understanding to others. I think a lot of people in marginalized communities feel like we have to operate that way, that we have to be the bigger person always, that we have to handle everything with grace, we have to give them some education, we have to leave the door open for some compassion. That's something that has been heavily laid on me since I can remember, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting because we shouldn't have to be that way. People should be read for filth, and maybe I'll start doing that. And to get a perspective from an incredibly talented member of my team, who is a trans individual who has been in the entertainment industry for a long time, I so respect this person. I wanted to hear from them about their own experience with how people have treated them as related to their identity.
When I was earlier on in my transition, I definitely noticed a lot more outward aggression or kind of almost performative confusion around, people wanting to find out what I was in terms of gender or sexuality. And I think that kind of, intrusion of privacy, really, it's not something that we have to share with the world. But I think especially if you are someone with a platform, there is a kind of pressure there. And now I find what happens is kind of in reverse. People won't know that I'm trans, but I'll tell them, and then they'll start treating me differently. And it's not, necessarily outward aggression, but it's almost a subtle tone shift, but you just know that suddenly they are like, I don't know, second thinking everything they said, or I think that they get this sense that like, oh, this isn't somebody I can say unfiltered things to anymore. And I think that's also a very interesting phenomenon. And I do think that reality TV shows use queerness, use trans identities as an incendiary moment. They want that drama, and because they know that that's the hot button issue. They're incentivized, I think, to essentially create a homophobic environment for people.
I can't thank them enough for sharing that part of this. Thank you so much. And I'm just so grateful to have them a part of what we do here. It's 2025, but have we really made progress? A recent study released by GLAAD revealed that social media is less safe for the queer community than ever before. And I will attest that it is less safe for people of color, Black, brown communities. Hate speech and harassment goes unchecked by the algorithms. And this continued discrimination still leaves some people fearful of being out, which is why we will continue to share these stories here, because I think it's important to share these stories. And I just want to let any one of you out there know, if you're feeling afraid to be who you are, to embrace your identity and to do that in a public space because of all of the bullshit going on in society, I just want you to know that you matter. You matter. You're valid, no matter what society says. As for Mickey Rourke, he's now suing Big Brother, claiming they only paid him 50,000 euros of his agreed 500,000 euro fee. He was also promised 5-star accommodation, but then only given a 300 euro a night cover. So to that I say, boo-hoo, bitch.
What if there's like a really hot lesbian in there? Like, I'll like die. She's like, you don't need to worry about that. So I definitely was like, don't you dare get handsy with a lesbian. Like, I'll be so upset.
So remember the guy who came to JoJo's defense against Mickey?
Smuggling. It's a clean t-shirt.
Well, who is Chris Hughes? Now, I'm gonna tell you who he is, but first, holy hot shitel bits. Dear friends, I have to take a moment to tell you the funniest effing thing that happened when I was researching this docket. I am still cackling. So I typed Chris Hughes into the Googler just to confirm his age, and you know how they do these like BS AI generated responses at the top now that you should literally never trust? Stop trusting those things. When I tell you the scream I scroam when I saw what the AI had said about this guy, complete with a photo. Here's his bio, and I quote, Chris Hughes is a multifaceted individual known for his roles in social networking, media, and economics. He is most famously known as a co-founder of Facebook alongside Mark Zuckerberg. Beyond that, he's been a publisher and editor-in-chief of the New Republic and has also explored his interests in economics and political campaigning. More recently, he has been making headlines for his relationship with JoJo Siwa. Y'all, sorry. Let me calm it down for the headphone users. What in the actual Pete Davidson on toast is this? Literally none of this is true, unless you're talking about the actual Chris Hughes, who actually did co-found Facebook with Mark Zuckerberg, but I'm pretty sure that guy's not dating JoJo Siwa, so that might not be something that he wants to be associated with, and I'm pretty sure that this Chris Hughes guy is just a reality TV show guy. So, people, please stop using AI to tell you things, okay? Humans are literally so cooked, because I know people out there aren't gonna stop. So back to reality. Chris Hughes is a 32-year-old British TV personality and sports presenter, best known from Love Island Season 3.
So I'm Chris Hughes. I am a television presenter, but I'm probably best known for Love Island back in 2017. I didn't quite meet the love of my life. Maybe I'll find it in the Big Brother house, who knows?
Who knows indeed. He definitely knows how to play up the romantic tension for the audience.
What's up? Nothing.
Tell me.
No, nothing.
Just what?
Just talking in there.
Yeah.
It just made me really emotional.
Yeah.
I feel very confused.
We're a confusing old world.
Yeah.
Confused? About what exactly? Chris picking invisible hairs off her face?
I feel very lucky. I feel guilty for how happy I've been. Like, I've been so happy.
JoJo says she is so happy, but it's the platonic I love you of it all. Yeah.
Like, I can't, like, honestly, if when people ask me about you, all I will tell them is, like, she is the sweetest, kindest, most genuine human being that you can come across. And
Don't make me more sad right now.
This is getting wild, and probably most of us know where the hell this story is headed, so.
You sure you're right?
I've been better.
What's that? Tell me.
Give me 48 hours. Love you. Appreciate you. You're a special one.
They were literally holding hands and having pillow talk. Kath Ebbs, who? Did JoJo forget that her partner was watching the entire time?
Okay, let's take out for a second the fact that I have obviously massive emotional stakes in the comments that Mickey made to JoJo by the virtue of her being my fucking partner.
Let me just say this plainly. Kath, supporting JoJo from afar over the Mickey of it all, watched as JoJo seemingly cheated on live TV at the same time.
The most important thing to tell you is a message from Kath, because I know you really miss them the most. Kath's keen to see you when you get out, in inverted commas. I've had so much fun with Kath whilst you were away. We've had lots of phone calls and FaceTimes, and they even came to my house to watch the launch of the show.
But back to the cheating of it all. Just hours after the show ended, JoJo headed to a rap party.
But the truth of the matter is I decided to show up for my partner and hold up my end of the bargain of being in a partnership and being a teammate, and I flew across the world to support, and instead I was dumped at the after party with Kris in the next room.
I'm just as baffled as Kath because what do you mean you got dumped at the after party?
I was told that there are confused feelings there, and that they had realized in the house that I wasn't the person that they wanted to spend the foreseeable future with.
I think the deepest cut might be the fact that JoJo was still sending Kath messages saying I love you while the cheating was happening.
I was receiving video messages every day in admiration of me and our love and our relationship, which indicated a sense of solidness and trust.
Realistically, I think this caused a lot of trauma for Kath, a lot of pain at least, which JoJo is responsible for. Again, we get into the stunted growth stuff, but she's out here having adult relationships openly, and there's responsibility that she's gonna have to take for that when she hurts people like this.
Probably one of the most craziest, intense, awful, horrific experiences I've ever probably gone through in my adult life. In terms of Mr. Christopher, I don't know, I have opinions, I'm not gonna say them now. In terms of their relationship, that's their journey. Enjoy.
So remember how we talked about JoJo insisting she's a grown-ass adult and should be treated as such? Well, let's rewind. JoJo made frequent and grandiose proclamations of love in regards to Kath. Quote, I am so happy I am in a very mature relationship and it's so beautiful. It's taught me so much about life. It's taught me so much about love and respect, and it's a beautiful thing. Well.
I feel extra spent to, instead of be met with like love and I guess like I thought my effort to fly 24 hours would be considered, but instead there was a lot of anger around things like the letter and not wanting to be on TV and stuff like that.
Now, Kath has addressed some of their feelings on their podcast, Conversations with Kath.
It's been straight up like probably some of the darkest times mentally that I've had in my adult life. We had a really like what I thought it was like a really good grounding of like trust. Like we were monogamous on record while she was in the house.
I feel for Kath. Like you can tell they're hurting. Watching your partner cheat is deeply upsetting.
And I had the world's biggest meltdown. One thing about me is I'm really progressive. Like I have intimate friendships, I peck friends. That's why I was like, why is this triggering me so much? Like I was like, something is up.
And the thing is, cheating doesn't have to be a physical act. From the Cleveland Clinic, quote, emotional cheating is a type of an emotional affair that involves developing a close emotional connection with someone other than your partner without fully disclosing the existence of that connection. Over time, as you continue to build an emotional bond with this other person, you may experience a disruption in your own relationship. But There's two sides to every story, to be fair, so let's hear from JoJo.
They said I broke up with them at the rap party. That's not entirely the story. The story, goes they had mentioned to production they did not want to come to the rap party. And I said, all good, I'm going to go to the rap party. But it's not their environment. And that's so fine. It's so fine, like whatever. And I'm already having all these crazy thoughts that I've been having in the house, and I need to formulate them. I need to talk to my mom. I need to be alone. I need to look at my phone. I need to see what's going on. I need to realize, what am I feeling? What are these thoughts? I'm not in a place to talk. So I'm in a place to have a fun, cute opening conversation, but I'm not in a place to actually talk yet.
Seems like JoJo is alluding to the fact that she had mentally decided to break things off, but maybe not at the party.
And so I was honest about that, and I mentioned to them, I said, look, I know you don't want to come to the after party, but I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna go to my hotel. It's gonna be 3 a.m. I'm gonna go on my phone. So why don't you go to yours, and then I'll go to mine, and let's reconvene tomorrow morning. And that upset them, rightfully so. They wanted to be with me, but I knew I wasn't in a place for that. They didn't want to go to the rap party, but they wanted to come to the hotel. But I was like, I'm just not. So anyways, 27.
JoJo was trying to set boundaries, I believe, which, good for her. Good for her. But sometimes, at least according to some, those boundaries continued to move.
So we separated, and they started driving to the hotel. I go to the rap party, and then about an hour into the rap party, at the time my partner said, I want to come now. I've changed my mind. Like, what's the mood? And then something else happened. I got told something else that they didn't want, and it kind of made me feel like, okay, this is very strange. Like, I really don't like this vibe right now.
It felt like a setup maybe a little bit?
Yeah.
If we are taking JoJo at her word, and maybe that's a huge if, then Kath left out this part of the story.
And so we started to have a conversation, and I was like, just come in here for 10 minutes. Let's just have a chat before we go over there. And that conversation started immediate, and I was gonna lead the talking, but then they kind of led the talking. And all I'm saying to every question they ask is, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Are you this? I don't know. Are you that? I don't know.
So it's like
is it
one
this?
of those...
I don't know. And then all of a sudden we're having it, and all of a sudden, we're at the rap party for Big Brother. I'm getting cussed out. It was the security guard kept turning around to me being like, and I was like, you know what I mean? Like, because I understand where they're angry and where they're coming at me, but I also keep reiterating, like, I'm not in a place to talk. I was just with 13 people, down to 6, locked away for 20 days. I haven't spoken to anybody. By the, 16th time somebody asks you, are you happy? Do you want to end things? You're gonna just spew your guts. And I was honest, and I said, if you ask me tomorrow, I don't know my answer. If you ask me right now, my answer is yes.
From Kath's point of view, this was cheating. JoJo now disagrees.
There's so many reasons why my breakup happened.
Yeah.
Christopher is not one of them. And I actually told this guy, I was like, maybe it would be easier if he was. But,
sure.
You know what I mean? Like, he is not one of them. So if you're gonna share the story, share the story.
I mean, your friendship is real.
Yeah, very.
But the romantic side of the speculation was just, like, again, goes not only, like, not true, it goes against your identity, but it also, like, it paints this picture of, like, infidelity, kind of like, that speculation of, like, again, paints you as a villain.
Add to that Kath's request that JoJo not speak publicly about this, only for Kath to presumably turn around and release that 13-minute deleted video.
We had a mutual agreement. Kath posted a video basically alluding to Kris and I are the reasons that we broke up. That's not the case. That is not the truth. And they know that, and I know that. So they were going to, post their video again because they wanted to share their story, but say, like, hey, I did give some misleading information. Like, I also was going on a morning show the next day with Kris, and we were going to shut the JoJo and Kris rumors down, and we were going to say we're friends.
And this just kept going.
The conversation that I had with them was they were going to do their video, give a little more context, and then they asked me to not speak about them. And the only reason why I'm okay to briefly speak about them is because they reposted their video and gave no context. It's gotten deeper, and so that's the only reason why I'm okay to speak on my behalf out of protection for myself and out of protection for Kris. But I also don't want to speak about them because that was their request, was to kind of leave them out of it.
Again, which I respect, but it's like,
but it's hard because
you don't get to do that, and then
you don't get to have it both ways.
Again, two sides to every story. In an interview with Betches, Kath said that it was JoJo who forced her to take her original video down. Quote, she promised if I deleted the TikTok video, she would no longer talk about me, and she didn't hold up that promise. So regardless of who went public against who, there's one accusation Kath makes about JoJo that's worth looking into for our next sidebar.
I guess, like, in an odd way, like, I don't know if you can, I haven't processed it enough to, if you'd want to call it love bombing or whatever, but it seems to me I have experienced a version of that.
I'm going to start this off with a quote from JoJo. Quote, "I'm a lover. I crave that. But it's good because I know when I'm in a relationship, I prioritize it, and sometimes a little too much, and I cut out friends, cut out family, cut out career, and I only focus on relationships. So I think that it's good that I'm single right now." Love bombing is a term often misunderstood and overused online to the point therapists are literally pulling out their hair. While we can't know the full truth of JoJo and Kath's relationship, we're going to do something that we do in every Swoop doc and zoom out from this story. Okay, we're going to set this story aside. What I'm talking about now is not going to be talking about them, and discuss some of the warning signs of love bombing so that if you or someone you know is experiencing this type of potential abuse, you're better equipped on how to get through it. So according to the Cleveland Clinic, quote, "Love bombing is a form of psychological and emotional abuse that involves a person going above and beyond for you in an effort to manipulate you into a relationship with them." Now, a lot of mental health professionals feel that this term is being widely misused in pop culture, similar to how terms like grooming, narcissistic abuse, gaslighting are used without full understanding. And then it kind of diffuses the meaning of it, right? Like grooming is a big one because, listen, I am quite literally a survivor of grooming as a child that led to repeated SA. And so when I see people just throwing around the word grooming about anything and everything, it fucking sucks. I wish people would stop doing that. Anyways, compliments, gifts, and paying, for dinner generally in healthy doses are normal affections that are often mislabeled as love bombing after a bad breakup. This is the term that people are throwing around now. Well, they were love bombing because on Valentine's Day, they gave me flowers. That does not love bombing make. So intersect this with factors like neurodivergence or insecurities, and affection can be projected in ways that appear odd to some, but aren't actually intentionally manipulative. So how do we know the difference between pop culture's misuse and real love bombing? Again, according to the Cleveland Clinic, quote, "It looks different for every person, but it usually involves some form of excessive flattery and praise, over communication of their feelings for you, showering you with unneeded, unwanted gifts, early and intense talks about your future together." And I would still argue that some mental disorders could influence someone to do that type of thing, like say, how they feel or overly communicate with someone and still have innocent intentions. So I just want to make sure that we point that out. Again, we have to be careful, right? The very fine little nuances to all of this stuff. Now, genuine love bombing often plays a role in the cycle of abuse. We've talked about that a lot on this channel. As the Cleveland Clinic explains, there are 3 phases of love bombing. Quote, "The idealization phase. During this phase, your partner bombards you with excessive love and affection to draw you in and convince you to let your guard down. At first, it may seem too good to be true or easy to be swept off your feet. Then, the devaluation phase. Once you've let your guard down and get comfortable in the relationship, red flags start to appear. Your partner may try to exert control over you in a variety of ways. They may become more demanding of your time and get upset when you make plans without them. They may also try to limit access to your friends and family and gaslight you into thinking nothing is wrong with their behavior. In the most severe cases, they may use fear and intimidation to get you to behave differently than you normally would, and even resort to physical violence. And often the discard phase, when you confront them about their harmful behavior or try to reset healthy boundaries, your partner may avoid accountability by refusing to cooperate and compromise, or by abandoning the relationship. This can leave you feeling confused, disoriented, or like you somehow failed to fix things. Now, I can't underscore enough how crucial it is to understand the signs of things like love bombing or something called coercive control as best as we can. That's why I talk about these things in Swoop docs. I'm not trying to scare anybody, okay? I'm not trying to scare anybody. So just things to think about. If you believe that you might be in a situation where someone is trying to do things like isolate you from your friends and family, control your schedule, access your passwords, control your finances, shame your opinions or your alone time, insisting that they can't live without you, that's not healthy or normal, and you deserve safety. These tactics are designed to strip your sense of self-worth for their control. If you feel unsafe, please reach out to someone you trust. If you feel like you don't have someone, there are anonymous resources like rain.org, the hotline.org, or the Trevor Project. You do have options to reach out to when you're ready.
God, if I could give advice to 15-year-old me, I'd be like, hey babe, You're gonna experience a lot, and not everybody needs to know. It's all good. You can keep it under wraps. And I am a little guilty because my mom told me that. She was like, not everyone needs to know everything. And I was like, yes, they do. I feel like I've finally figured out the secret to relationships in the public eye, and it's private but not secret. I get dumped on by the internet for doing things publicly when it's really kind of pushed by the other person, and I don't know, man. I'm just a 21-year-old kid trying to make things happen.
So, wrapping the sidebar, back to JoJo and Kath. No one was in their relationship to know for sure what happened. I'm not interested in anyone discounting Kath's feelings. I think they went through something very awful, and I hope that they find healing. I also think JoJo is a messy individual whose current carelessness leaves pain in her wake and is likely a counterpoint here, a product of her upbringing in the industry and her age. She's still very, very young.
Being told that I'm the love of someone's life, being asked to marry them before this social experiment.
Marriage, JoJo, you're 22. Child, please listen, live your life.
I guess further humiliated in a weird way. That's more of a feeling. I don't know if it's fact, but I feel further humiliated in the fact that in that believing of someone's words and actions was actually left a bit high and dry.
Now, this got me thinking, what happens if we take a brief and cringy tour into JoJo's past dating history, the horror? I'm kidding, I think. So hold on to your asses, people. I can't believe that we're about to do this, and the only way that I can get through a JoJo Siwa dating recap is if we take it to Petty University, so roll the intro. We're doing this because I think that there are patterns going on with JoJo that I really do think are very much influenced by like what her mom put her through and like dance moms and stuff. And like, I just like, Before Kath, there was Kylie.
I do have the most amazing, wonderful, perfect, most beautiful girlfriend in the whole world.
Best girlfriend ever. We're gonna hear that a lot. JoJo and Kylie became official in January 2021, literally the same month when JoJo came out. In a now deleted IG post, the caption read, "After being my best friend for over a year, January 8th, 2021, I got to start calling this exceptional human my girlfriend. And since then, I've been the happiest I have ever been. She seriously is the most loving, supportive, happiest, protective, and just the most beautiful, perfect person in the world. And I get to call her mine. Happy 1 month to my girl. I will love you more and more every day." But a few months later,
I've yet to talk about this officially publicly, but we broke up.
another breakup a few months later, aka the type of whiplash you honestly expect from dating at this age.
I am. I've been single for almost 2 months, and it's okay. It's not deep, I promise.
But maybe there's a pattern. JoJo gets attached super fast and falls super hard. This can be perceived as love bombing, at least by some, at least by Kath, and isn't afraid to blast, her feelings out with her spicy vocal cords. And then it goes south. She says some shit online and it's off to the next attachment. Because after Kylie, there was Avery Cyrus, a TikToker and YouTuber known for her content about her queer identity and no relation to Miley Cyrus.
We're friends.
Purely platonic. What's so fun?
I don't know.
3 months later, she's on a cruise with JoJo with the sorry for breaking up with you present.
Come with me on my 7-day Royal Caribbean cruise. Started off with a gnarly wipeout, then went back to my room to get my robe and drink some champagne.
This is my I'm sorry for breaking up with you present.
Ended the night with a really sweet present from JoJo.
I'm just reporting the timeline, people. I don't really care about those details, but I do want to point out that JoJo's mom posted this to Instagram stories.
Because I got used. And I got tricked into being told that I was loved. And I got f***ing played.
So JoJo's mom is making content out of her daughter's breakups. Get that bag, mom, baby. But it begs the question, was JoJo mentally mature enough to be on this Instagram post? Because it's starting to feel like maybe JoJo is potentially so quick to get in relationships and then love, and leave relationships because the child in JoJo maybe never healed from adults entering her life to like monetize and do and then betraying her and leaving at probably every turn in the industry. That's the way the industry works. People are in there for a short period of time and then they're out. Their loyalties are just with the dollar. They're not with the person. They just look at the person as a product.
'Cause I'm my mother's daughter.
Yeah, you are.
But back to it. Then there was Dakayla Wilson, best known for being the runner-up on season 18 of So You Think You Can Dance. The same season that JoJo Siwa appeared on as a judge, which literally anyone would call maybe some type of imbalance of power, but I'm just gonna leave that alone because whatever. But according to a September 2024 interview in Us Weekly, JoJo was planning a future, again, with 18-year-old Dakayla. Quote, obviously we're both very young and she's even younger than I am. I always bring up Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy conversation right away in a relationship, wild. She was always like, oh yeah, kids are going to be so fun to have. That was when we were first talking, and now obviously that we're more serious, it is definitely a more serious conversation. I'm like, we'll get married and then we'll visit that. I don't think that the kid conversation is necessarily the most mature or healthiest conversation to be having with an 18-year-old. Now, if you're wondering who Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy are, well, at one point, JoJo literally named her future children.
We're gonna talk about your kid names.
Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy.
Thank God she recanted that later, and yes, as you might expect, they broke up.
Let me first say Dakayla is an amazing girl. She's truly super special. We have gone our own way.
In a People magazine interview, JoJo stated it was amicable, yet the same article speculated about another new partner, bringing us full circle to Kath Ebbs. Listen, I'm gonna sum this part up because I don't care about dissecting JoJo's relationships. The cheating, she's grown, cut that. But oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm making a case for JoJo Siwa with all the branding and stuff. What is my life but this pattern of potential love bombing or extreme emotional attachment thing, grand marriage plans, the kids, I would die for you, then quick breakups, literally like basically every fuckboy in my DMs begs the question, is she overcompensating for a childhood devoid of genuine connection not tied to monetization? Leave me your thoughts in the comments. And honestly, considering the scrutiny public figures face, where every coffee date, airport trip, Instagram post, or slammed car door is scrutinized by the tabloids and millions of anonymous people online hiding behind keyboards and talking and they themselves would never survive being scrutinized to this degree, who the hell can have a healthy relationship in an environment like that? And would we be having these conversations if JoJo were a young man? So what about Chris Hughes?
You didn't morning hug?
I missed you when I was sleeping.
Yeah. You missed me?
When I was sleeping, yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I have a problem with Chris Hughes, but like, I have a problem with 32-year-old Chris Hughes capitalizing on 22-year-old JoJo because I think he should have identified a young woman learning about her identity, being attacked by a monster 50 years older than her on live TV, and the vulnerable position she was in, and not be cuddled up on camera as her savior in the peak of that vulnerability.
And I think I realized just how not great things were, that I was pretending they were great. And it's been hard, but it's been good. And I'm very happy with where I am now. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful that I had you in there for support and for comfort, because even though you didn't know what was going on in my brain, you were still obviously are, like, support.
I'm torn on this one a little bit. I think Chris did an important thing standing up for JoJo. It was necessary. And I also think he knew she was in a relationship, knew she was conflicted about her identity, and knew she's been literally exploited by everyone older than her since birth.
I have friends, like one of my best friends is gay, so I'm like within that industry, I understand it, and I've done a bit of my own drag stuff in my time, and I enjoy that community. I can see the talent in the community, and I know that everything that community goes through and stuff. So
this is so stupid. Like, this is a grown-ass 32-year-old man putting his man paws on a woman 10 years younger than him and acting like the damn public can't sniff a cheat like a fart in a one-way elevator. Don't ask me how the one-way part works. And the not so stupid part is Kath, having to watch this unfold one cringy interview at a time, where once again JoJo's brand comes first and everyone else is just dust in the wind.
Were you shocked by Kath's public commentary on the breakup?
Loosely answer the question. Anything that I've needed to say or clarified has been clarified. There was a lot of things in that initial video leading to misinformation and a false narrative, which of course isn't, cool when there's already you know what I mean? And so, but it's all good, troops.
Okay, that's good.
All good, troops.
And class dismissed.
Since the world met me when I was 9 in the public industry, it's always been the real JoJo. And I will never ever do anything that doesn't feel like me.
So that platonic friendship that JoJo and Kris described in countless interviews has turned into a full-on relationship, including a classic soft launch, or more likely a hard launch, with a social media post of JoJo peacefully resting in bed with Kris, presumably without their garments on, I guess. I hate it here. Fans were gooped, gagged, and maybe not totally surprised given the alleged cheating of it all. Who knows? Everything is a mess, and apparently we're just all spiraling down a stripper pole to hell like Lil Nas X. Just like clockwork, JoJo and Kris have told the press just how obsessed they are with each other. Quote, speaking to TMZ last month while enjoying dinner with pal James Charles, which is a loaded way to start, I quote, dinner with pal James Charles on Wednesday, JoJo said that things between herself and Kris are going great. Quote, he's my favorite person in the world. It's beautiful. It kind of radiates. He's my favorite person, and I am very grateful and very happy. At this point, it's the JoJo Siwa playbook via, I think, her mom. Fall head over heels instantaneously, even if you're in a relationship with someone else, potentially love bomb, and abandon ship for the next thing, all while monetizing the living piss out of it. In a deleted TikTok from her ex, Katie Mills, she accused JoJo of, quote, telling someone you love them and ghosting them the next day. That too is a problem. She's an adult. Her actions have consequences on other people. From the business standpoint, everything that JoJo does is content worthy of monetizing in someone's eyes, because as long as she can keep the spotlight on her, it doesn't matter who her new boo is. But to that point, again, can we blame her? She's been conditioned since childhood to seek attention. How the hell does one break that conditioning? Because this game of, will they, won't they, has kept JoJo and Kris in the headlines for months. And isn't that exactly what they want, especially probably Kris? Oh, and remember JoJo's future kids, Teddy, Freddie, Eddie? Well, if I had to hear this, you have to too. Kris told E! News that JoJo has given his, southern dangly bits, has given his balls a little nickname as well. And I can't believe I'm about to read this out loud, but I'm a thorough bitch, even when I hate it all. Quote, she calls my balls Jimmy and Timmy. I could have gone my entire life without ever knowing that, so if I have to know this, you do too. And apparently Kris is on the fast track as well. Quote, I do see a forever here. I'd love to marry her. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I run through scenarios of our wedding day. Oh, Kris. What the fuck are you doing, Kris? Did you find this next line really insightful? In that Daily Mail article where Kris is, talking about marriage via some other article, it also says this, quote, the star confessed the 10-year age gap doesn't faze him, as you can't help who you fall in love with. Well, I'm so effing elated that the much older man isn't fazed by the 10-year age gap. He can't help himself. Charming.
And you know that's what it takes to make a problem. But you know that's what it'll take to make a problem.
Let's come full circle now and get to the new era of JoJo and the question of authenticity. So do you remember JoJo sharing that she's not lesbian, she's queer?
Oh my God, this is a lot. Met a lot of people in my life that are non-binary. And these beautiful non-binary people are who I feel the most like. It's not something that I want to say about myself yet, but it's something that is confusing.
So here's where JoJo up in the eyes of a lot of people in the LGBTQIA+ community. And I held it to this section because I wanted us to first just establish and underscore early on that people should be allowed their identity journey. That's all I wanted to establish. That's important. I think that is an important baseline to set. And I think that JoJo should be afforded that ability like anybody else. But she said some additional stuff, and we're gonna look at that now. Again, remember what we do here. We present multiple perspectives to be fair, as this is a sensitive and complex topic. Everyone is going to interpret it differently. It's probably based off of, everyone's individual life experiences. Now, we're not gonna spend a ton of time on this. That would make the Swoop doc 4 hours long, and I'm sure this is already very, very long. But I think as long as we have respectful conversations and not just, attack a viewpoint or, jump on a bandwagon, hopefully progress can be made in society. As she continues to talk about her evolving feelings around her identity, JoJo said this, quote, "I always said lesbian, right? But I feel like so queer." Cool. But then she proceeds to say, quote, "The L, I'm going to the Q." Now, if you break it down, JoJo is effectively saying, the lesbian label, I'm going to the queer label. And while I think that JoJo is kind of impulsive or a lot impulsive and probably meant that just as an, oh my gosh, I've figured myself out. I'm not this, I'm that, which, literally haven't we all had a messy self-discovery? A lot of people felt like she was saying F lesbians, queer is better. And I totally understand someone walking away feeling like that. Her phrasing it that way comes across very disrespectful, and it is unnecessary. There were fans who suddenly felt gut punched, and I think that's a valid feeling for them, as though, that she was stigmatizing the community to come to the Q instead, perhaps for the affection of a man.
JoJo, I did not know you got it tattooed.
It's new, it's fairly new.
Wow, CEO of K-pop.
Now, I understand, again, people's frustrations. I really do. That's why I'm sharing it here. And I'm not here to discount how anyone feels. She has said some harmful things in the past.
I don't like the word itself. It's just like lesbian. It's just like a lot. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's what I am. So it's like, it's like the word moist. It's just like, ugh.
I wish that JoJo would address it, clarify it, be direct about it, because she is mature enough to understand. And I'm sure she's aware of the backlash. I think that would go great strides.
People have a magnifying glass and a microscope, and they look and they judge. I think a lot of people have a lot of things to say, and I think I've also done some things that have fueled that fire. All I'm trying to do is figure it out.
I also think that this is far more complicated than some of the, not all, but some of the online discourse gives the totality of all of this credit for. I think it's important to remember JoJo, again, has been a product since damn near birth. Yes, she's an adult. Yes, she treated relationships like and yes, she even thinks that she's being authentic since a child.
Since the world met me when I was 9 in the public industry, it's always been the real JoJo. And I will never ever do anything that doesn't feel like me, or that I'm not proud of, or that I'm not who I am. I built my career on being myself. And so yes, this is the real JoJo.
Realistically, I don't think any child knows who they are. I think it's more likely that her mental and emotional growth has been stunted by the Hollywood machine, which is far more brutal than people seem to want to acknowledge for some reason. Imagine trying to discover yourself with literally the whole world watching. Like, could you even imagine discovering yourself with like everyone in your high school class watching you, your every move? Let's just look at your high school class. They're all watching you. They're all typing and scrutinizing everything that you do and say. It's going to be clumsy, right? Your self-discovery is going to be clumsy, especially when there are adults in the room convincing you that you know who you are so that they can sell more product.
Or that I'm not who I am. I built my career on being myself. And so yes, this is the real JoJo.
The thing is, JoJo says she never wanted to define her sexuality in the first place. The media did that for her. And remember, she got backlash online after coming out in 2021. In an interview with Vanity Fair, it sounds like she almost regrets coming out, which is terribly sad for anyone. Quote, "I never should have done that. I was thinking that all the comments were going to be nice and supportive, and they weren't. A lot of them were, I'm never buying your merch again. My daughter's never watching you again. I couldn't sleep for 3 days." Like JoJo or not. And I get it. Ooh, I get it. I get it. I think that her regretting potentially coming out is incredibly sad. So let's do, again, as we always do in a Swoop doc, and try to bring some of the human aspect back to it. We can still have criticisms. I hate the abuse alleged against her with ex-OMG Pop members, and I've even spoken with a member and their parent behind the scenes. That shouldn't be erased, but neither should JoJo's identity journey.
I realized, oh no, I'm not lesbian, I'm queer. I think for me, I realized, whoa, I'm in a box that I'm not even meant to be in, you know what I mean? I've dated beautiful women, I've dated beautiful non-binary people, I have dated men, but I'm like, I realized that's just who I am, you know what I mean? And I realized for myself that I just like human, right? And my eyes are just open, you know what I mean? And you can love whoever you want to love.
Here's the thing. I don't think gatekeeping someone else's identity journey is going to lead to anything positive for anyone. And beyond that, it gives fuel to conservative attacks on the community as a whole, which we are seeing happen so much. That's why it's also important to not make one single person the face of a community, something even JoJo unfortunately bragged about many times, which will never sit right with people. And I don't think her mom should have been endorsing that.
It's not about being comfortable for me with being the face of the LGBTQ young demographic, young age, younglings. It's about being honored with that. It's something that I've been appointed by, not myself, by just the world, calling me a gay icon, calling me this generation's icon.
I'm not excusing stuff that she's done or said at all. She will likely need a lot more time to mature, ideally without it being monetized by everyone close to her all of the time. Now, to add more to the ever-evolving controversy, JoJo is making room for a new era, at least for a moment in a music video, a new aesthetic, which is a tradwife, according to some, but dare I say, it's not real. But let's analyze it. Maybe something will change my mind. Now, this auto-tuned to hell and back cover of Betty Davis Eyes from JoJo Siwa hit the #1 UK charts in early July, possibly making it the first ironic #1 hit ever.
And you know just what it takes to make a problem.
Hang on to your one last vocal cord, JoJo, my gosh. Please get a vocal coach that cares about your voice.
Oh, the boy thinks she's fine, she's got Betty Davis.
Now, yes, the original Betty Davis Eyes single from 1981, performed by Kim Carnes, is known for the raspy, kind of smoker's voice from the singer. So JoJo is just paying homage to that, right? Well, not exactly. In an exclusive interview with Toddy, JoJo told the tale about why she decided to cover this song and change the last line from Betty Davis Eyes to Chris Hughes Eyes, which I'm sure the original writers Donna Weiss and Jackie DeShannon appreciated, but that's not what stuck out to me the most. JoJo said this of her music video, quote, "Less natural was the look for the music video. Siwa says she absolutely hates changing up her look. I put the costume on and I put the wig on and I was laughing at myself in the mural. Like, there's no way this is happening. This is hysterical. I look in the mirror and I'm cackling at myself. It's a little bit like Halloween." In a now deleted TikTok post by original singer Kim Carnes, she wrote the following, quote, "There's a difference between singing a song and embodying it. I've always believed authenticity is what makes music timeless." And I couldn't agree more. She continued, quote, "I'm forever grateful to be the voice behind this one, Betty Davis Eyes." Listen, like I've said many times, music videos are one of my favorite forms of artistic expression. I've directed several music videos, and as a recording artist myself, yes, I am a recording artist. I've been on tour, all of those things, lots of shows. I've become all types of characters within my own videos and films as a way of embodying the story that I want to tell as an artist. That is how I develop my skills as a filmmaker, a songwriter, a storyteller, and a visual artist. Art that challenges the artist and the public's idea of art is what helps artists and society grow and evolve. But, that's just me. Not every artist gives a about telling a story. They, a lot of them just jump on an aesthetic and call it a day. They have the right to do that. I think that's what JoJo's brand is doing here. JoJo's literally saying, she's laughing at herself, this looks like a Halloween costume. It's not real, it's not JoJo. Kim Carnes later gave a follow-up statement to TMZ saying, quote, "When I first saw my original performance placed side by side and then layered on top of a new version of Betty Davis Eyes, I can only speak to how it initially struck me. The phrasing, the tone, even the little inflections, it all felt a bit too close. I'm all for female artists lifting each other up. This business can be brutal, and I strongly reject the idea of hate and personal attacks I've seen online, whether directed at me, JoJo Siwa, or anyone else. That kind of behavior doesn't belong in music or anywhere. At the same time, I believe artists have the right to speak openly about how something makes them feel, especially when it's as personal as your voice. These days, our voice is one of the few things we truly own. So when it feels like your voice is being borrowed, it strikes a deeply personal chord." And I gotta say, Kim's music video, the original music video of Betty Davis Eyes, is something to behold. Oh my, it's a treat. There's the iconic 80s wind machine, billowing fabric blowing in the wind, and what appears to be people in drag slapping priests and nuns. It is a spectacle of art to behold, so go and give it a watch. I think that JoJo just threw some shit together like literally 80% of every artist on the planet does at this point, and I think that's because, again, JoJo has always been, since a kid, a product. Maybe it's just because I have experience in this world in the entertainment industry, like who knows, but I don't think I'm wrong. Actually, I know I'm not wrong because I'm never wrong. Now, about the Tradwife of it all. I'm gonna take a different approach than what I've seen most of the coverage on this do, because as y'all know, again, that's what we do here. Critical thinking matters. And so I'm gonna try to approach this from a few different perspectives. We're gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate. We're gonna keep it brief. We'll have a cute little chat. Sound good? So here's a quote that went viral. Quote, "Turning into a Tradwife as soon as she starts dating a man." So let's start with the wardrobe. JoJo dons bleach blonde waves a la bootleg Marilyn Monroe knockoff, a frilly low-cut white blouse, and a full 1950s beat. The outfits, the set reflecting long-pedaled femininity and domesticity. None of these things are inherently bad, of course, when taken individually and in the form of art, when we just see these little bits, but they're not JoJo. She literally said they're not. She said Halloween. Now, again, in general, I think entertainers should be able to create random looks for music videos without it being taken too literally. If we start really condensing and compressing and scrutinizing every single piece of art that every artist makes, that's very dangerous. It is very dangerous to suppressing artistic expression. We really have to be careful doing that. If we were to take every single piece of art and all music videos as literal, then Katy Perry would be an extraterrestrial space alien. Lady Gaga would be also oddly an alien monster giving birth to human heads. SZA would be a trailer park tradwife, and Rihanna would be a murderer. There's no book of laws here, unless you count the ones that literally want to strip people's rights away from them for having an identity that isn't normal. Respectfully, very respectfully, yes, it might have been poorly timed given the show that is happening in society lately. Sometimes it's just there to sell a song for publishing royalties and being controversial. Sometimes it's nothing more than a bunch of dudes in suits in a boardroom who are crafting some stuff and they throw it out there and then they move on to the next thing. They literally don't care. Is that shitty? Yeah, it definitely can be. But also, like, you know, dudes do this all the time and people don't blame them for setting back an entire movement. And I'm just tired. I'm tired. But on the counterpoint, the accusations. Again, I can understand people be like, well, but you're putting this imagery out there and you have responsibility. That's also a valid critique of it. That JoJo Siwa, who is now dating a man, saying comments like F the L and willingly dressing up like a potential trad wife complete with the pearls. To some people, this is about more than just dating a man. This is a pivot into a brand new aesthetic. And again, I don't know if we can say this is someone's brand new era and aesthetic without more evidence and more stuff happening, but I get where they're coming from with that criticism. We've seen the rise of tradwife content on social media, you know, wearing $400 designer sundresses, making sourdough, and milking cows. The actual tradwife aesthetic is designed to feel quaint and like a return to traditional values, whatever the hell that means. But it's more than just an aesthetic now for some. The actual tradwife aesthetic, those in it, has become an ideology. As tradwife influencer Estee Williams explains,
if you are not familiar with the term tradwife, it is a woman who chooses to live a more traditional life with ultra-traditional gender roles. So the man goes outside the house, works, provides for the family. The woman stays home and she's the homemaker. She takes care of the home and the children if there are any. People are typically just living it and maybe showcasing their lifestyle like me. And we believe our place, specifically us as individuals, believe our purpose is to be homemakers. It doesn't mean that we are trying to take away what women fought for.
Listen, it goes without saying that respectfully, I'm not coming for this person, respectfully, I reject like maybe all of this, definitely the majority. For one, I believe when people talk about very, at least conservative spaces, when they say things like traditional gender roles, is code for crushing women by the hands of men. And even more obvious reason why I would reject this is I could never fall into this traditional style, because if we're taking it back to the 1950s, my black ass woman self probably couldn't even vote, drink from the same water fountain, or go to school with white folks. So fuck all of that to hell, and you can take Jeff Bezos' space rocket to get there. Katy Perry coming soon.
No tradwife TikTokers are saying every woman's place is in their home. We as individuals are just choosing to be homemakers.
I'm still going to be careful about stripping away a woman's autonomy of choice for how she wants to live her life if she truly takes joy in staying at home and it's not at the harm or detriment of other people. And in the same breath, there is a rise of pushing what I call toxic conservative ideas that look to strip away people's rights.
There are some great feminine jobs out there that won't put you in that masculine dominating energy, because ultimately if you meet a masculine man that wants to provide, he's not going to care that you're the CEO making $200K a year. In fact, you'll see a lot of these men, they are really attracted to waitresses and receptionists and women who are doing more feminine-like jobs.
Sophia Sykes and Dr. Veronica Hopner at the Global Network on Extremism and Technology explored how some of the tradwife sphere is commodifying harmful ideology with a more palatable presentation. Quote, the authors tracked the online activity of 36 tradwives and found that these women use ideological radicalization, social media influencing, and a sophisticated understanding of social media platforms to commodify right-wing ideology. What they found was that, quote, tradwives promoted their place in and the broader tenets of their various right-wing communities, including religion, politics, the modern militia movement, and online counterculture.
Why are we telling women, even starting out as young girls, that they need to have a life of independence? I think that that is a very toxic way to bring up a girl, to tell her that she can never depend on a man, and even if she falls in love with that man, always have a way of supporting yourself. Independence does not equal fulfillment.
Now, I don't think JoJo, of all people, again, is out here saying, hey everyone, let's strip away gay rights and fuck equality. I'm conservative now because I wore pearls in this music video snippet. But as she continues to discover herself, she's going to have to understand the balance between creating art and the indirect message it might send. I'm gonna sidebar on something really quick. I've talked about it before, and it's something that's happening to many marginalized communities, Black and brown communities in particular, and very few people are talking about it. So let's talk about it really quick. This will just be a minute, and then we'll get back to the JoJo Siwa of it all, I promise. But of course, y'all know what we do are sidebars. This is one of them. I will say with my full chest, the current traditional conservative ideology that as it's being pushed to these extreme lengths that has centered things like whiteness and cis straight men has jeopardized the lives of Black and people of color, especially Black and brown women. And it's getting harder to separate how this harm permeates culture. And that is by design, and that's how it becomes dangerous. And why I say this is something that applies to life and not like political sides of things is because I've been seeing this happening on both sides. It's a human thing. Now don't get too uncomfortable, okay? Y'all know, stay with me. When author and writer Seward Darby was doing research for her 2020 book, Sisters in Hate, American Women on the Front Lines of White Nationalism, she explained that the term alt-right is really just white nationalism with a new label. Quote, it was aggressively anti-feminist, anti-diversity. Some of it was proudly pro-white. I started this off saying I brought this up because I saw a wonderful Black woman creator. I'm not gonna say who, she doesn't need to be bothered, child. She got a million things to do, but she's a survivor and a self-made entrepreneur and lifestyle creator. She posted an entire video discussing how she's been accused of carrying conservative values, and it's quite literally specifically because of the way she dresses. Even though, ironically, she'll dress like in a very, conservative Chanel suit one day with pearls, and then the next day the girls will be out. They'll just be out in full force. But like, no, we can't look at that. We just gotta look, oh no, this Black woman wore something conservative, so she must be pushing that pipeline, the conservative values. And this was all done as an attempt to silence her voice when she clearly has been incredibly vocal against the traditional mindset that seeks to marginalize Black and brown communities. People have reportedly been throwing around, the conservative pipeline, alt-right conservative pipeline, whatever pipeline, these pipeline things, and people have been throwing this against anyone they don't like. That has become the new insult. And even within the community, because the pushing of whiteness can feed into infighting within marginalized Black and brown communities. That's what makes it sinister. The accusation attempts to center white voices over the voices of Black and people of color in non-conservative spaces where Black women are led to believe that they are safest. We should all be equals. Anytime you see someone throwing this just insult around, just scroll around, you'll find they have a history of blatant racism. It's always right there. So when I saw her being attacked with this label, I was disgusted and realized again that racism is not only everywhere, but that these claims from, performative people are just covert attempts to silence Black and brown voices like hers just because they don't like her. If you don't like her, move the fuck on. They have to be the louder voice in literally every situation, no matter what. It's the bad faith thing. Remember when I said they won't throw the label at the entire Black and brown community? That would be too obvious. Instead, they try to isolate and pick off the ones that they've decided through their racist lens aren't worthy of having voices, because the more they can do that, the louder they can be, instead of trying to bring us to unity. It's so obvious once you realize what's going on, so keep your eyes on the lookout, because it's happening everywhere and by people who want you to believe they are on the side of equality. I am at the point in my self-made life that when I see someone belittle quality, successful women in particular who have a track record of doing good work for years, maybe they made a misstep here and there, maybe they've had an opinion that you don't like, maybe I don't agree with all of their opinions all of the time. When I see someone belittling quality Black and brown women, I am side-eyeing the person going after them rather than listening to whatever BS they're trying to say about somebody. This is not the path to unity or progress. It's a path towards bad faith hate. And in this era where communities are being rounded up, it just happened in my city, I'm not walking down that hate-filled bad faith path for nobody. It's 2025, child. Give me unity or fuck off. Okay, I got a little bit carried away. I brought this up because I think it very much ties into this Tradwife thing, and that's why I want to be careful about just calling someone like JoJo making a music video a Tradwife now and pushing some very harmful ideologies that are so destructive to JoJo's own community. I don't think that that's what JoJo is intending. I think she will learn from this, and I think we have to be careful about attacking our own vulnerable communities. So some quick updates. JoJo Siwa was dropped by her record label and postponed her American tour where tickets were already sold, leaving lots of fans super pissed. But let's refocus. In an email with Vox, Dr. Baker, a media and cinema studies lecturer for RMIT University in Melbourne, had this to say about her research on the impacts of celebrity at an early age. Quote, child stars and celebrities embody not only our culture's ideals of childhood, but also demonstrate how contradictory those ideals actually are. Child celebrities are expected to act as if they are not getting older and maintain a childlike innocence or face public outrage. I want to highlight something. JoJo has alluded to her childhood stardom before and talked about it in depth on, wait for it, Kath Ebb's podcast, I've Always Said That. Now, this was pre-breakup, obviously, but from this interview, it's clear that JoJo sees herself not as a victim.
Do you think reality TV is problematic for the cast? For the cast, I think it depends on the show. For me personally, being in a reality TV environment, no. Like, I was almost in a weird way built for it. I can understand it. I can.
But do you think that you can, like, consent to that level of, like,
exposure at a young age? Thinking right now, like, if there was an 11-year-old, looking at an 11-year-old, no. But me at 11 and me now at 21, like, looking back and thinking back, like, yes.
JoJo admits that no, a child really can't completely consent or understand what going on reality TV means, but somehow she's still the exception. So I think she's like on the verge of getting some of this, but she's not quite there.
But I will say, the flip of that is other kids on Dance Moms that were my same age, no.
The more controversy and drama they can create around JoJo, the more press she gets. And so my question becomes again, how in the actual living hell can JoJo even separate herself from the controversies, being that her life was literally formed by them, pushed by her mother, and taught to capitalize on the worst types of behavior for profit?
JoJo, have you learned nothing?
And here's the mind-blowing question. What if JoJo actually loves this and we should just all take her at her word and stop trying to protect the things that she had lived through? I know where I stand on this, so my opinion is still going to be the same, but JoJo's grown. She says she's always been herself. I don't believe that. She was a kid. How could you be? But she might hate this type of compassion. I don't know. JoJo was taught to be a product. Years of her stage mom, Jesselyn, whispering in her ear. Years of performing for the cameras while getting screamed at by Abby Lee Miller. Years of being shackled to family-friendly Disney Channel content while trying to make sense of her queer identity. The thing is, just because JoJo says she was built to handle it doesn't mean it stays that way. Two things can be true here. She can be navigating a life that comes from some element of trauma while also hurting some people in the process. I do hope for her sake she finds whatever healing and clarity she was denied as a kid, and maybe she has. Quote, I've really found that I've got a clear sense of vision again in my personal life, but especially in my career. I just hope that clarity doesn't come at the expense of others or herself. Lots to unpack there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Child, that was a lot to unpack. We need a bit of a kitty palette cleanser. Excuse the tone shift, and then I will conclude with my final thoughts. As a reminder, you can grab your pieces from the Valid Ribcage collection by tapping the link below and in the pinned comment. We also have the Unbroken collection. Both of these collections are very near and dear to my heart. I designed these pieces for anyone who is looking for clothing with positive reminders that you are incredible, beautiful, and valid no matter what you look like, what you've lived through, or what you want to do in life. Seeing positive messaging, especially for my ADHD brain, I need to see it or I don't believe it a lot of times within myself, right? So that is motivation behind why I created this. Also, please do keep tagging me with your outfit photos. I love reposting on my Instagram stories. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky. That's all linked below. That's where I post most often, especially Instagram stories. I'll have polls, I'll check in on life. So also, we're doing a piece on Ozempic. I would love to hear from you, if you're comfortable, number one, talking about it, about your experience. I'd like to bring some people on to talk about their experience with GLP-1s to make sure that we're very much representing a diverse range of perspectives on that conversation. So I've got the tips email, Swoop tips, I believe it is, at Gmail. We may not be able to get to everyone's email, but we will do some reach outs. Also, I have a second channel called Swoop 2. Over here, we deep dive. Over there, we don't. They're skinny dips into the unhinged dark dark waters of the cesspool. We have a lot of fun over there, much more casual. Videos are way shorter, so welcome to the chaos. Huge thank you to our channel members. As always, I appreciate you so much. I hope you're enjoying your stickers. And also big thank you to our Patreon producers. We have been growing so much on Patreon. It's honestly so freeing. We have such a wonderful community there. You can join our Patreon community right now for exclusive access to 4 more videos per month, including the entire back catalog of videos. Yes, 4 more videos. I post 4 more videos per month, including the exclusive Patreon only podcast, after school specials, all that uncensored stuff that I can't post on this platform. So I love that for us. Also, be sure to check out ExpressVPN and stop letting streaming platforms serve you the discount version of the internet. Get access to thousands more movies and shows and keep your data private. Go to expressvpn.com/swoop to find out how you can get up to 4 months free and unlock a whole world of shows, movies, and security, because you deserve it, honey. I understand the frustrations when celebrities don't meet expectations and concerns about their impact on regular individuals. I think we also have to be careful when, outright declaring that JoJo's identity represents an entire community or that her evolving fluidity was merely a phase. As we established in part 1 of this Swoop documentary series, her brand is all she's ever known, in my opinion, which is a tragedy. Whether you like JoJo or not, like, her trained impulse to sell herself since age 11 has created an ongoing pattern. Doing irresponsible things, sometimes hurting people, giving sly interview statements, then rage baiting with another publicity stunt to shift the story. It's worked this long, but how long will this be effective? And at what cost? Well, only time will tell. And in the meantime, stay ready, stay petty, class dismissed. Swoop!